I have some connection problems. I can't see you very well, but okay, now it's good. Can I just check one by one the speakers if they are here? Marco, I can see Alicia.
Yes.
Okay, Alicia, not Aisha.
Yeah, no, Aisha.
Or Alisa, I don't know how it is. So, Marco, we cannot hear you. Marco, where is your colleague? Is she coming? We cannot hear you. No, we cannot hear you at all.
Yeah, we can hear him a few minutes ago. Now, I don't know what happened.
I don't know. You are not muted, but we cannot hear you. Could you please check in the meantime? I'll check the rest of the speakers. So, Dr. Pausri?
Yes, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, absolutely, and I can see you. Just tell me how to pronounce your surname. Sreya?
Srian, yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then the Sun Space project, Aisha is here. Just a second. Just a second. Anila, moi je suis en session. J'ai une session. Sorry, it was my boss. I'm back. Then Dr. Yuguen, are you here? Yes, I can see
yes.
you.
Yeah, yes.
And Dr. Pradorn.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, then we are only missing Alisa. Marco, we can still not hear you, I'm afraid. I hope this will be resolved, otherwise you cannot present. Can we start just with the first one, the Sun Space?
Yes.
To upload the presentation and to show the presentation as a test.
It's okay. Is it okay?
Yes,
no, I see the
yes,
presentation.
it is okay. It is okay, but it's not in show mode. We can see both the next slide and the current slide. If you can make it just the current slide for the participants, it will be easier.
Okay.
Try to please share the PDF, not the PowerPoint, but the PDF.
No, if I share the PDF, I will get some issues with the video. I'm going to take one screen now.
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
Should be okay.
Yes, and now I think that it will.
Okay. I see also that my co-host is here, Juliette. Juliette, you can show yourself.
Yes.
Aisha,
Yes,
I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Can see you.
Just
In
to
case
remind
I
that
have
we have
some technical issues, she'll be the she'll be the one to take over.
Is it okay?
No, Aisha. Then you have to click on the button.
just a small reminder that the session has already been started. So we are already live.
You want to share, Dom?
Yes, we are live, but we wait 1 minute for Marco still to settle the technical problems, and then I'll open. It's 12 o'clock. Marco, last try with you. Marco, are you here? Or he left completely? So in case I see Marco is not yet there, I may change the order of the presentation, and Dr. Pao, you may become a second. This is just in case.
Hi, ciao.
Hi, ciao. It seems that you hear me now, right? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Marco.
Bravo. Super. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Alicia is also with us.
Time is turning. It's 12 o'clock. I think I should open. Now, good morning to all of you. I can see 53 participants attending this session. In fact, you are attending the project results session on agriculture and food. And as the title reveals it, during this 1 hour session, you have the possibility to listen to the presentation of 3 Erasmus Plus capacity building in the field of higher education projects in the area of agriculture and food. In total, 3 projects will be showcased: Sunspace, Lens, and Unicam. Each project will be given 15 minutes exactly. So I'll give gradually the floor to the respective speaker per project. In the meantime, I kindly request all the other speakers to mute themselves. Please mute yourself. Thank you very much. Participants, as you have noticed, you don't have the possibility to take the floor unless I give you the floor, but you can ask questions. Please ask your questions in the Q&A section only. Only the questions asked in this session will be taken into consideration. You have also the possibility to vote for the questions that you like. And at the end of the session, we'll have some 5 to 10 minutes to answer to the most recurrent questions. You have also the possibility to raise your hand, but we prefer that you ask the questions in the Q&A session, as I said. Obviously, not all the questions will be replied. But I take this opportunity to remind you the network launch where you can meet the project representatives for further discussions. Be also reminded of the capture functionality showing subtitles of what is said on stage by the speakers. And please note that it's not a translation to another language. It is just a caption in writing of what is voiced on stage. You can activate this function by clicking on the button with, I don't know how to explain it. It's next to your microphone, one of the buttons that is visible under the screen. And now I'd like to give the floor to the first project, Sunspace, where the speakers will be Dr. Aisha Sekari Sekluli, Dr. Yugiena Yangen, Dr. Pradron Surefong. I'm sorry for the pronunciation, and I leave to you to present yourself very quickly. You have 15 minutes, please.
So just time to...
Aisha, can you share the presentation?
Yeah, I'm coming to share it, please.
And in the meantime, once again, a reminder, please mute yourself, the other rest of the speakers.
Just... Okay. You have my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes.
Okay. So good morning, good afternoon, everybody. We are pleased to share and discuss with you the running achievement of our Erasmus Capacity Building in Higher Education project, Sunspace. The presentation starts with a brief overview given by myself, Dr. Aisha Seklouli from University of Lyon, France, and the coordinator of the Sun-Space projects. Professor Houdin from Royal University of Bhutan will introduce quality pilot implementation with its impacts and sustainable model. And we will close this presentation with Professor Pradhan from Chiang Mai University, Thailand. He will introduce us the organic pilot, an exhaustive view of its implementation, impact, and sustain models. What we are talking about and what is the context of these projects. Nowadays, smart technologies play an important key role in the agriculture sector, which is enhancing farm production efficiently. And this is what we call and what we know, and this is related to smart farming or smart agriculture. And in this context, the main challenges is how we upskill the farmer with the use of this smart technology. Here comes a Sunspace. Sunspace for Sustainable Development Smart Agriculture contributes to sustainable development by providing and developing a training system to upskill farmers in the use of these smart technologies. And this project is implemented in 3 Asian countries, Bhutan, Nepal, Thailand, within 3 European countries, Scotland, France, and Cornelius, Hungary, University of Budapest. The main outputs and accomplishments of Sunspace projects can be displayed in 4 main parts. The first part is all the materials and resources related to training program and approach, where we identify the most requirements of our farmer, the farmer profiles we are targeting. We develop an adaptive learning approach to teach and learn farmer, and we develop an hybrid program supported by an e-learning platforms. And the quality is in the middle of our councils, and we develop for these models related to based on Kirkpatrick model to assess and evaluate our teaching and learning program. All these resources and materials are implemented and tested in 4 pilots: organic pilots in Thailand, quality pilots in Bhutan, work condition pilot in Nepal, and we also implement and we are implementing cross pilots, and this cross pilots is shared between these 3 countries, Thailand, Bhutan, and Nepal. And this is to sustain the achievement of Sunspace. All these materials are gathered in smart labs where we can find the equipment we purchased during this project, the e-learning platforms, and all the training and assessment materials. Because we are thinking about the sustainability model of this project, we are also developing a knowledge center where we can find the good practices and we share the good practices. We can also learn about standards, directives, technologies, innovations, and policies. The domain we are upskilling our farmer are 4. The first domain is related to digital agricultures, where we find components, data processing, and decision models. And the second domain is related to smart farming, where we teach our farmer about the cultivation farming, the livestock farming, smart monitoring, and smart controlling. And we can't do it without standards and norm where we can teach our farmer about food safety and all the norms and standards related to the organic farmers. And the main component also we are teaching and learning our farmer is business model. And here we teach them about modeling method and tools, creating and capturing value, business model innovation, and the business model in agriculture. Now I'm going to give a hand to my colleague, Dr. Hujin, to introduce us the quality pilot in Bhutan. Hujin, floor is yours,
Thank you.
please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aisha, for the introduction. So can you move to the next slide, please? So let me take you to the brief background about Bhutan. So as you know, Bhutan is a small, tiny Himalayan kingdom, and its area is slightly more than 38,000 square kilometer, and 71% of the area is covered by forest, and agriculture consists of 2.93%. And we have a total population of slightly over 700,000, and we have this mountainous terrain, and also our elevation starts from 160-meter above sea level to 7,000-meter above sea level. And agriculture is one of the main source of livelihood for around 56.7% of the population. And in 2019, the GDP contribution also was slightly higher compared to the other sector by agriculture, which is 15.82. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So next we have the video that actually covers this Bhutan pilot, and it's how it would contribute in the environment sustainability.
So we just don't need drip irrigation in the field. Like we need to have it automatically set, right, and make it smart so that it irrigates on its own. So that is a very good expectation.
Okay, so this was a short video on how we had actually conducted training, and then how duty and how it contributes to the environment. So we had this training of trainer, which is one of the major activity of our capacity development, where we had trained 3 academicians, 20 agriculture extension agents in Bhutan, and 3 researchers. And like Aisha mentioned in the first presentation, that we actually used in the training the digital agriculture, smart farming, and business models that were prepared on our online platform. And there we also had this hands-on training and visit to the smart lab. Next slide, please. So along with the smart lab visit in our farm where we had installed all the equipments, so we also took our participants to the agriculture field on some of the farms in the country, and where the hands-on training had also actually taught how our participant could analyze the data that is generated from the agromet station that is installed. Next slide, please. Next, we have this impact of the Sunspace project in Bhutan, where we are expecting that the control of resource use like water can be done with smart irrigation technology and proper management of nutrient in the soil, where we are not going to use access that can be measured by using pH and EC sensors. And we are also hoping to reduce the number of labor that is employed for vegetable production, and at the same time increase productivity of vegetable. And as you have seen, like we were able to build capacity of 20 agriculture extension agent, 5 research, 8 academician, and we're yet to actually conduct another training where we want to train some more academician and 40 farmers. Next slide, please. Finally, on my part, I have the sustainability of sun-space project in Bhutan, where even after the project is over, we expect that this smart lab that we have constructed will continue to be as a demonstration and practical ground for teaching and learning to the students of agriculture-based program. And at the same time, faculty and masters and undergrad students could also take up research using the smart laboratory for their research in smart agriculture, environment studies, and related areas. So with this, thank you so much. And I hand over the floor to Dr. Dawn.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Uken. For Chiang Mai University, we take care of the organic pilot, especially the vegetable crop in the northern of Thailand. Transforming the traditional farmer into the organic farming is quite challenging. So in the Sunspace project, we adopt the ICT technology to help building the capacity of the farmers from the traditional farmers to be smart farmer, and from the traditional farms into the organic farm. So we apply many methods, especially during the COVID situation, and we have lockdown everywhere. So we also transform ourselves into a new way of teaching and learning. So we have 3 types of learning. The first one is the self-learning. The second one is the virtual learning. And the third one is the hands-on learning. The self-learning allows the farmers to get access to the platform. If you go to the website of the Sunspace project, then you be allowed to log in and connect with a massive open online courses. And we have 4 modules. And the second type of learning, which is a virtual learning, we also try to diversify the learning method. The first one is online learning that allow the farmers to interact with the expert or the farmers and also the professor from university that help them to increase the capacity. The second one is virtual field trip that allow the farmers to showcase and share their knowledge between farm and farm. And we use the ICT tool to help this. And the last one is online workshop that we send out the equipment to the farmers, and then we do it step by step from the broadcast and to the farm. And the last one is the hands-on learning that we provide a smart lab for the farmers. So a small group of the farmer can visit the lab and do the hands-on learning. Next slide, please. Then I will go a little bit deeper in the Sunspace MOOC. It's very easy, so you can get into the website. And the first thing that the farmer have to do is to register on the platform. Then the second step is the learning. So we have 4 modules around the smart farming and a lot of content in the MOOC. And the third point is the access. So the farmer will do the immediate access from the platform, and then they will digitally earn the digital certificate immediately after they complete their online learning. So this is a self-learning mode that we prepare for the farmers. Next slide, please. Then the next one is the smart lab. This is very important in the project because we prepare the important equipment for them to explore and to learn in the smart lab. So all the equipment, the sensors, the control is there in the smart lab. And the second one, which is very important, is the platform. The IoT platform also prepare for the farmers to play and to visualize the data, and they know how to read the data and interpret the data. And the trainings, the well-designed training set was there. So the farmers, and we also have the trainers that help them to train the farmers. And the last one is the assessment and accreditation. So we also cover different type of knowledge from maturity model, satisfaction of the farmers, and the knowledge output and outcome to make sure that the farmers can be able to perform the same thing at their farms. Next slide, please. Until now, we are in the very last phase of the project. We have the impact now in the Chiang Mai University. We have 12 smart farm trainers that help us to train the other farmer. And in the we organize the Smart Farm Academy with 4 modules, 20 topics around the smart farming, from sensors into the marketing, 40 live sessions that we are currently doing. And we are now have 164 plus smart farmers, learners in the academy. And we have now 8 new national partners to join in the project, and 2 international partners from China and from Germany. So this is the impact and sustainability of project from Chiang Mai University. I bring back to Professor Aisha. So you can visit us at the sunspace.farm if you can explore in the web browser. Thank you very much.
Can you hear me? Hello, is this host speaking, Elena? Time is over for the first project. Dr. Pradhan, can you confirm you have finished?
Oh, yes, we have finished.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for you. Now we go to the next project, which is the project Lens. And I introduce you the 3 speakers there, Marco Stojanovic, no, the 2 speakers, I'm sorry, Marco Stojanovic and Alisa Hajiabulic. Marco, the floor is yours. Can you unmute yourself and share the presentation?
Yes, please. Thank you, Elena. Can you see the presentation, please?
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you. Hello to everyone. I would like to make a presentation of the Lens project together with my colleague Alisa Hajiabulic from Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and on behalf of our consortium. The project Lens full title is Next Destination Balkans, Agri-Tourism Landscape Development. This is a project from 2017, and thematically, this project falls under agri-tourism development support projects. Many times in just to see how to change the slide.
Marco, you are muted. Can you unmute yourself? We
Yes,
cannot
please,
hear
sorry.
you.
Sorry, I experienced a small technical problem. I think I'm on the right track now. Throughout this project, many times we quoted Anne Harvey, agritourism specialist, who said for agritourism that it is linking agriculture and tourism, which is the best way to overcome poverty. And she said it is multi-sectoral and multi-layered. And really, this is what we also learned from this project. It is multi-layered and multi-sectoral. In this project, we brought together a multi-sectoral consortium consisting of 15 consortium members, including higher education institutions, some of which are teaching agriculture, others were teaching tourism, and others were teaching business development and economy. Then we've had a regional development agency from Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. In our countries, these agencies, as public institutions, are responsible for the provision of business support to local entities. And finally, we've had WEBIN, Western Balkans Institute, as a regional organization which specialized in non-formal education and training. Now, why agritourism? Why agritourism? as you may have an idea from Anne Harvey's quote, it is very important for the revival of rural communities in Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Both of our countries are rather rural countries with several large urban agglomerations like Belgrade in Serbia or Sarajevo in Bosnia. And there are strong migrational trends from the rural areas towards these large urban agglomerations. So basically our rural areas and many, many beautiful villages are becoming less and less populated. With this project, we felt we will support the rural communities to diversify their economic impact, to bring additional work to rural households, to bring tourists in contact with nature again, and to revive many, many houses which are empty in our villages. Then this specific tourism branch is developing in rural areas, bringing life and dynamics back to the villages. And this is what we wanted to achieve with this project. And finally, our project focused not only on agritourism, but basically we focused on higher education institutions and their capability to be active stakeholders in agritourism development. Before I leave the floor to my colleague Alisa, I would like very briefly to introduce you to the project structure, just to have an idea how we achieved achieved results in this project. So this project had 7 work packages. First work package was initial preparatory work package, just to verify the data which we already knew. But in this project, in this work package, we wanted to consult again the stakeholders and to make sure that we have the up-to-date data. Second work package was developed, dedicated to the development of training programs, non-formal educational training programs for those already active in agritourism, but also for those who plan or would like to start a business in agritourism. In third work package, we wanted to create a regional team of educators and to boost their capacity to train other colleagues, other educators to transfer the knowledge to final beneficiaries. In fourth work package, we organized numerous training sessions for final beneficiaries, such as unemployed people in rural areas, people already engaged in agritourism, household owners, entrepreneurs, and similar target groups. And the last 3 work packages are very important, but the technical ones, like dedicated to management, to dissemination of project results, better visibility, and ensuring the high quality results. Now I would like to give the floor to my colleague Alisa, who would introduce you to the project results and what we managed to accomplish within this project.
Thank you, Mark. I would like just to ask you to go to the next slide so I can continue with our accomplishments. So basically, since we started with the preparation package, we had a lot of activities which we finished in this first part. So the first step was to create the database of households and other agritourism stakeholders. So as a result of this package, we had 2 publications being printed and published. And the first one,
dear Marco, I think Alisa has some technical issues as from the beginning. Can you present her part?
Excuse me.
Can you hear me?
Have you heard what I've said?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
I think Alisa has had some technical issues and this continues. Could you please present her slides?
Yes, please.
The rest of the presentation.
Do you see Alisa's slide?
The slides that I see is a database of household and other agritourism.
Yes, that is what Alisa is presenting at the moment.
Yes, but can she hear me? Because
we can see the slide, but we cannot hear Alisa.
We can hear
if
I'm sorry.
I hear Alisa well.
I can also hear Alisa. I think most of us can hear her.
You
Yes.
can hear me?
Yes.
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 Yeah, Alice,
Thank you. So who cannot hear me?
I cannot hear you, her, but anyway, if you confirm me this is okay, we can continue. I cannot hear at all.
Sorry,
Yes.
Elena, but they hear
Yes,
I
me.
can
So
confirm,
I can
Alisa.
the most of us hear Alisa.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you,
can hear
Marco.
and
So I
see you.
continue. So as I already said, we created that database and we publish publications. The first publication, which I would like to have it emphasized, is mapping of agritourism developmental potentials in Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. To be honest, just to share with you the experience from this package, we have been really surprised with how big potential we actually have and how much of the space within that potential has not been investigated, researched, underlined in any way. So we could see the potential definitely there. The other publication was, Marco, next slide please, was agritourism stakeholders analysis in Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, just to see where we are actually and how much we have let's say, properly followed. As Mark already said, as a part of actually one of the main tasks was to create 2 vocational training programs with over 30 relevant practical trainings for acquiring various knowledge and practical skills in agritourism developed and delivered. So the initial idea was actually to create just 20 of these courses, but when we started with this, we realized that there is a lot of potential, as I already said. So instead of initial 20, we created 32 altogether, and they were divided into vocational training programs. Marco, next slide. And to finish the job, we definitely need a regional team of educators. So we started with initially 18 teachers trained, and with continuation, we at the end formed a regional team of 30 educators who were trained to provide support to households and entrepreneurs in agritourism business. Of course, we developed also a toolkit which consisted of TOT manual and materials. Next. We have created a strong partnership of academic and business institutions in the Western Balkans on the development of agritourism competencies. This is something what we did in the first part of the project. It was very important to have this interinstitutional agreement signed. So on the basis of it allowed us to continue with our cooperation and to finish this project and, of course, to continue with sustainability in the future. Next. As something that we are going to continue in the future, I would like to emphasize the Winter School of Agritourism, which is definitely one of the most important goals, which we haven't planned at the beginning, but at the end we had it, and it's something which was organized and it will be organized for households and entrepreneurs to improve, but to network also with each other and exchange experiences. And why is that so important? Because all of them are doing same business, but to be honest, what they complained a lot was actually that they do not have network which is something that they can rely on, something that is established, something that can support them in the future. Marco, next slide, please. So let me go back shortly to our training. So as I already said, we had 30 trainings which we made. Of course, pandemic happened in the middle of our realization, but we managed. So altogether at the end, we had 30 delivered trainings for 32 courses, with altogether 450 participants who were representing different households, entrepreneurs, unemployed persons, municipalities, tourist organizations, and the others. We also had some other added values that we developed along the way, and we hope that all of that is going to help us to continue with this sustainability. Definitely agritourism is the branch that demands work, demands help, of course, from regional organizations, which we already mentioned, and development organizations, and of course, high educational institutions, because the most of those people need courses, and they are definitely different than those that we thought that we would need to give them. Marco? So he will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Alisa. I will take the floor from this slide on. To finalize the presentation with a short introduction to project quality architecture as a specific methodology for complex multi-partner large-scale projects, which was developed in 2016-17 by Western Balkans Institute and first time piloted within LANDS project. And afterwards it was piloted in many more capacity building in higher education projects. This complex and comprehensive methodology was designed to provide the project the project teams and project management with real-time, up-to-date data on the progress of project implementation, but also on the quality aspects of different project elements. With this methodology, which is, I stress, comprehensive, we were not only focusing on tangible results like publications, like training sessions, like, I don't know, new products, but we also wanted to, in a real time, continuously monitor the quality of management, of partnership cooperation, of dissemination efforts, of communication internally and externally, and many other elements necessary for quality project performance and high quality results. So with this methodology, what we also learned from this initial experience is that PQA methodology was invaluable source of information and data in the reporting phase. Basically, in both external evaluation, which we've had at the end of the project, and internally when we were creating the final report, the reports, project quality architecture reports of different quality segments evaluations were invaluable source of data in this process. So very shortly, how is this methodology designed? It has several columns on which the methodology is based. First one is PQA team, the team of evaluators, internal evaluators who are dedicated by, who are appointed by the institution and dedicated only to quality monitoring and evaluation. Then second column is management quality. This column is dedicated to the quality of management, to continuous monitoring and evaluation. How is this project segment or cooperation arrangement performing? Then we have the quality of work packages, which is another segment subject to separate evaluation procedure. Then we have quality of results, both tangible and intangible. Then we have events quality as another segment of evaluation. Then we have dissemination and communication quality as a subject of evaluation, progress quality evaluations, independent external quality evaluation, and finally verification of cost as a final segment of PQA methodology. Within the PQA team, at the beginning, we distributed the roles and tasks to each team member who will be responsible for which evaluation segments. We created evaluation instruments, including the questionnaire forms and reporting templates, and we've had time frame of evaluation activities which were carried out by PQA team. All evaluation reports of each evaluation segment was subject to verification and approval by the PQA team, and all the reports were distributed to institutional coordinators, work package coordinators, and project management team, steering committee team. So all of them, as leading management figures in the project, were informed in real time how the partners, team members, institutional coordinators, and other interviewees were feeling about different quality aspects in the project. At the end of every project year, we were creating the progress quality evaluations, summarizing experiences and findings from all previous evaluation reports, and making, on the basis of this, making recommendations to institutional coordinators and steering committee how to proceed in the upcoming year. More information about project quality architecture you may find on the WebIn's website. I would complete this presentation with this slide and share with you our contacts, especially from those from the Western Balkans interested to share the experiences, courses, and materials from Winter School of Agritourism in Bosnia and Herzegovina and Serbia. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Marco. Very interesting presentation. I now give the floor to the last project to be presented during this session, Unicam. Dr. Paul Srian, the floor is yours.
Okay. Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
You see my presentation?
Not yet.
No, it's already there.
Yes, it's okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to talk about the result of Unicam project, which is the first round of the Erasmus Plus in capacity building in higher education. So the project title is Implementing Quality of Education and Training of the Young University in Rural Area of Cambodia. Okay. So the presentation will be include the project organization, objective, result, and impact. So the project was formed up with 4 EU university, including University of Girona in Spain, University of Toulouse in France, University of L'Aquila in Italy, and University of Ghent in Belgium. And the other 4 universities in Cambodia, including University of Battambang, Mien Chey University, Swiring University, and GSIM University of Kamchai Mir. And there are 4 associate partners, including Cambodia Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport, Occitanie region, University of Ubon Ratchathani in Thailand, and also Nakao National Environment Foundation in Japan. So the objective of the project were to enhance higher education quality, especially in the field of agriculture. And second one, to develop human resource. And lastly, to build university capacity. So as the result, the curriculum on sustainable agriculture for master program was developed, and it was a contribute from other agriculture university and also stakeholder, which is one of the model of learning adapting a model for curriculum development, especially for the field of agriculture. And the curriculum was accredited by the Cambodian Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport, and start the master program in 2016. And here is the number of students enrolled in the program in the 4 Cambodian universities so far. And totally there are 180 students enrolled in master program for the sustainable agriculture. So the program, we can say, was the one of the only one curriculum which consider on environment, society, and economic. So beside the master program, we also providing like the exchange program where students can take internship at the EU university. So as the result, there are 10 master students were selected to take a 2-month internship in Europe, and also 6 staff taken a training course in the EU university. So the staff mostly the lecturer of the master program, and the training providing very good for knowledge and skill upgrading for them to take and use that knowledge for the master program at a home university. So at the Cambodian university partner, we also provide a training course, 11 training course for the staff, and most of them are lecturer and also researcher, and providing very wide range of topic that addressing the sustainable agriculture, which is the interested and hot topic for Cambodian agriculture. As we can see, the chemical input are increased, and this is one of the way that we can educate and train them how we can reuse the chemical input, not only to save the environment, but also to produce a good quality of agricultural product. And we also providing another 6 training course for a master student. So the students are not only taking the training course with the Cambodian lecturer, but they have chance to learn with the EU professor. They come to each university and provide training course and to teach them how to apply some scientific method as well. And as the program I mentioned earlier, which is the only one consider on sustainable agriculture, which consider on environment, human society, and economic. So this is, we can say, thanks to the UNICAM project that providing not only the human resource limited by each university, but also to improve our lab facility and also some farm facility that can be very useful for them to improve their teaching and learning. And the curriculum of of agriculture field of study, some of them may not update, and a way of doing curriculum development is one of the new method to train our staff and our university partner in Cambodia to take into account and then consider on what is the good way of teaching, what should be included, what is not be included. And also one of a good thing that I would say is improving like a public and social image for agriculture field of study, because although Cambodia is the agriculture country, but I mean people or students may not want to study in the field of agriculture. So for the impact, I would divide it into two levels. One is individual level, that would the student enroll in the program are able to apply their scientific method to address the agricultural problem. So far, we can see our students presenting their research finding in the international conference, and also adapting like a scientific method to do research at the laboratory. And we can see some students are producing very good data and a good a plot that they learn from the EU professor, and they are able to publish their research in the peer-reviewed journal. So they are not only writing the thesis in English, but they can also get publishing their research work in the international journal. So another achievement that we also would like to highlight is we have established a journal which is called Asian Journal of Agricultural and Environmental Safety. So the title just addressing for sustainable agriculture, actually for sustainable development. And this is one of a way that we can train our students to write their manuscript and try to publish their research work in the journal. And for those who are very good writing and also good result, they can publish in a peer-reviewed journal. But this one would be a way of training for them to have confidence for publishing any research work that they have done. And for the institutional level, they are, highlighted our lab facility improvement. So before the project, laboratory at the university, I would say it's not good enough for a student to train and also to do some research, and send to the Unicamp project, providing a lab equipment so that they can use the equipment to study and to learn a new method and finding a new thing, and also to get the result published internationally. And one more thing is the soil museum. We also established as like a showroom where we can show different soil type, where students can learn or can study on soil quickly. And another thing, as the institutional capacity building as well, we have disseminated a concept of sustainable agriculture to the public. We are conducting like international conference to not only to provide a platform for the student to present their research study, but also we invited some key speaker from other country to share their knowledge, and also to address to the topic of sustainable agriculture to our students and also to other stakeholders in Cambodia. And I would adding just lastly about some of our students have recruited to be a lecturer at the university recently. So it would be very good impact that we can get a human resource which educated with the concept of sustainable agriculture, and also they can use this knowledge to teach other students or other generation, which is one of our we call institutional impact that the project brought to us. And thank you very much. I finished my presentation now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pausrean. Another interesting presentation indeed. Now, time is almost over. Before we end this session, I would like just to go through the 2 questions only that we received in the Q&A session. In fact, they don't concern really none of the projects. They are not addressed to none of the projects, but they are more related to the general cooperation in the framework of future projects. One of the participants, Dr. Tamar Ashanishvili, would like to receive the contact mails of the project coordinators and especially of the project lands. And the other one, Ms. Hint Boisson, from the University Mohammed VI Polytechnic in Morocco, would like to find some potential partners. To both of you, I'd like, but also to the rest of the participants, I'd like just to remind once again the possibility to participate in the launch, in the networking launch, where you can discuss and find partners. Now, unless there are further questions, I'd like to close this session by first of all thanking to the presenters for the very informative and interesting presentations of the project results. But thank you also to all of you participating in this session as attendees. Wishing you very good luck for the rest of your project and also for your future projects. Goodbye to all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lana, for hosting the session.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.